Team Marker, House of the Dragon, Episode 9 review, guys. Get right to it. Action.
He told me you wish for Aegon to be king.
What's going on, Alamo City Movie Talk fans? Happy Game of Thrones Day, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get right to it. Angela, what's going on?
So we're reviewing, it's so close already.
Yeah.
The 9th episode of the House of the Dragon. Just one more episode left after this. Next episode is the season finale.
I'm going to miss my Game of Thrones days. I'm going to miss House of the Dragon days. I'm going to miss Sundays. You know, it's bad enough that the Cowboys lost last night. And I stopped probably like about 3/4 in. I would go on and off. And I was like, you know what? We need to start House of the Dragon because it's not going good for the Cowboys. They just choke. And I know what doesn't choke for me, as far as I could say, or what does not choke as a performance, is House of the Dragon, which was a crazy episode in itself. We're talking about spoilers review, guys, so let's get right to it. Episode 9 starts the Green Council. While Alicent enlists Cole and Aemon to track down Aegon, Otto gathers the great houses of Westeros to affirm their allegiance. Now, as the last episode has been official, and we saw the trailer of the last episode, episode 8, we saw that King Viserys is actually gone now.
He died very, very end of last episode.
Very crazy death.
But, I kind of, you wanted him to be in peace. He was he was in bad shape, so.
He really was. I was surprised he lasted to the last 2 episodes. But,
to be honest, I was. But, now that he has officially passed away, it hits the fan. So.
It really does. We get into a whole world of different a whole different Westeros, because we see people getting gathered. We see Otto and figuring out, we see Alicent as well hear the message that he meant to give to Rhaenyra. We saw that on his deathbed. He mistakenly tries to finish up a conversation he had with Rhaenyra, which one-on-one. Thinks he's talking to Rhaenyra, but it's really Alicent. She doesn't quite understand what he's going on, but she kind of picks up bits and pieces. She just hears Aegon, prince that was promised, and just kind of runs with it, right? She doesn't fully understand the context, and she thinks on his deathbed, he wanted Aegon to be successor, not Rhaenyra. I'm the only one who heard yada yada. And everyone doesn't believe it. There's a lot of people.
And that is what hits the fan. That's what causes this whole thing. That one simple miscommunication between Viserys and Alicent, that whole thing is going to set...
It takes a toll on the family.
It
really
does. That's the riff, right?
The split division of the family.
And we come to find out when the council is called to present the news officially.
Who would have thought Lannister is there as well as the treasury? I thought that was pretty... Oh, okay. That's pretty ironic.
Regardless,
the Lannisters always pay their debts, don't they?
Yeah. But regardless... when the news is broken that Viserys has officially died, and what Alicent tells the council, this is what his last wishes were.
Yeah. I don't know. Okay, at the same time, though, we talk about the King's Guard too, the Lord Commander, and I actually liked him. I really did. I really enjoyed him in this series so much, because he would go after Sir Christian so many damn times, and I loved it. I loved it because I hate Sir Christian. Tell me, guys. At first, when I first started this series, I was all like, okay, Sir Christian's cool.
He's cool.
He's defending Rhaenyra. Ever since after episode 2 or 3 or whenever the stuff started escalating, when Rhaenyra had to decide, I was just like, man, Sir Christian really ticked me the hell off on so many different occasions, to where I really disliked the character. And when you get me to really talk so much about this character, it's like, dude, this show's so good.
So come to find out, the whole time, pretty much everyone's in on it. Like, they kind of had this backup plan. They're kind of conspiring behind the scenes. They want Aegon to be successor. They were going to kind of overthrow. They had preparation.
Because Alicent actually mentions it too in this episode. She mentions, that, like, wait, you had this, pretty much, you guys had this plan along.
So she's shocked, right? So they did this behind her back. Otto did it. The rest of the council did it. And I feel like the commander of City Watch was also not... Or the King's Guard was not in it at all. But everyone else was. So it comes as a shock to everybody. There's one guy, I think Lord Beesbury, I think that's his name. He's not in on it. Kind of makes like a quick stand-up of like, this is not right. You're all traitors. And, dies honorably.
And he says it. I mean, not honorably, but he dies like a terrible death. Like he gets murdered
honorably
by
is
Sir
in like
Christian.
he stands up for what he thinks is right.
And the other houses do that too at the same time, because Otto's actually trying to get all the houses together, the great houses.
But they do it in fear.
Allegiance,
they do it in fear, and they do it like holding people hostage, prisoners. You can't leave. You can't confer with your houses. Yeah. This is what's going to happen. This is
crazy. We're in a Westeros to where people actually keep their oaths. Because we saw in Game of Thrones, literally, it was the Game of Thrones, right? That's the whole point. That's the whole point of the show. But like, we see so many different people giving their house oath to this person, to this person, to this person, to this person. It kept going back and forth ever since Robert Baratheon died. You know, it kept going back and forth. We see different houses choose sides. We saw that in Game of Thrones. That's why we loved it. But with this show, it was a different Westeros. It was like, if we said our oath, we're not backing down from it. And I love that.
And that's a shame, because it's not, at this point, it wasn't like this house against this house against this house. It was
House Targaryen all the way.
Every house in the ceremony, I think it was episode like 2 or 3. Yeah, they pledged Starks, allegiance to Rhaenyra,
and they took it to heart. They really did. They took it, and they were like, "We pledged our allegiance to House Targaryen and Rhaenyra." Yeah,
and so that's what sucks about it, because this fear tactic employed by Otto, to basically do a coup, it forces the houses to change their alliance right away.
Yeah, in a weird way, I kind of feel like this is going to shape like future kings. Obviously, this starts the spark of what a kingdom of Westeros is going to be like for the future, and I feel like this really, and the reason why I could be totally wrong, right? Creators can say, "Oh, you're totally wrong," but in a weird backstory of mine, I kind of feel like this is what's conspired to Westeros that we know in Game of Thrones, where no one takes no seriously anymore, because I think it's more of like who's more in power, who has more power, who has more money, who has a bigger army.
I think that also, like, I know marriage as an alliance has been a big thing here, but I also feel like this is more of this is really going to separate the houses, like you say, those who will honor their oaths and those who won't. So I feel like whereas most of the houses did pledge allegiance to Rhaenyra, this is gonna essentially split the houses.
It is. I mean, we knew this was coming from the get-go. We knew that it was gonna split they even talked. Viserys even said it. He said it so many times. The only way, and he heard it. He heard it from his family. He said the only way that the House Targaryen, House of the Dragon, is gonna get destroyed is by its own house. And he's right. It's 100% right, and it's coming to life. Damn it, Otto. It's coming to life, and it's not just. I mean, it was Alicent too. I would say Alicent's really the one that missed communication there, and then at the same time, though,
I blame Alicent because she's so like that's what she wanted. Mm-hmm. But she did also stand up to the council because they did want to kill when in this coup, in this plot, this whatever they had set up. They wanted to kill Rhaenyra and her children.
No,
because they're like
Rhaenyra and Daemon.
Yeah, everyone. So there's no challenge to Aegon's succession. This coup is going to end. It's going to happen. No questions.
And Aegon's a piece of he is. He says he's a piece of shit.
But I would say Alicent is. I wouldn't say as guilty because she's not on part with that, and she's right. Viserys wouldn't want that for the daughter, right? For his daughter.
And we get more of a sense to where. Exactly, Aegon's almost like Robert Baratheon. He has offspring everywhere. We get a little hints there.
Yeah, so
we see a chicken, almost like a cockfight in a way, but for children. It's terrible. It really is terrible.
You see, like I think they had explained behind the episodes that throughout the season we've seen bits and pieces of Aegon. We've heard little stories like what he did to his handmaiden and how awful he is.
How he raped his handmaiden.
So this episode, most of it is where he's missing. Yeah. And it's a race to find him and influence him. Yeah. It's a Otto versus Alicent situation. Yeah. Who's going to find him first? So as some of these characters are trying to find him, you get more and more info about Aegon, who Aegon is and what kind of ruler he's going to be. And you're right, he does visit these unsavory places. Yeah. Again, the child fighting, he's just missing. He doesn't want the responsibility of being king, ruler. Nope. And you also find out on the same token, Aemond, the second son, he wants to be ruler. He's poised. Yeah, he's studied. He's
the way they're fighting when actually when he finds his brother, they're literally fighting about it, and he's all like, I don't want to be king, and he's all like, we have no argument of me. And not only that, but like the visual that's what I love about this show. It's that it's more, this show is way more visual eye gouging. Like it really is, because like they get so mad when certain situations don't happen the way they want to. And instead of saying something, instead of doing something about it at the time being, they're actually just eye staring, just like, really, you, like, and he does it to Aegon like nothing. He's doing it to the whole ceremony. We see that we see so much.
It's a lot more like nonverbal acting cues. Like you see how like upsetting it is, because Aegon is like essentially fighting against the throne. He doesn't want to ascend the throne, and Aemond, who's wants it, but he can't have it. He's next in line. He's so frustrated because he's like, I've been studying. I'm a good fighter. I feel like I'm more poised to have this, and it has to go to you. I feel you would see that frustration in his face, like you say, the acting, the verbal cues, or the nonverbal cues. So I really liked it. Seeing that banter of sibling fighting. Also another thing we see, because Princess Rhaenys is still in the King's Landing, so we see her essentially be prisoner, and became, kind of offered.
Alicent told her, like, you need to choose our side. We need your dragon and everything.
Holding her and her dragon hostage.
And it's just, again, it's about splitting the family. It's about taking the reign and taking the power away from Rhaena. And it sucks. It really does, Rhaenyra. It sucks that we have to see this escalate and everything. And at the same time, though, we see the ceremony come. I really didn't expect the ceremony this episode.
Yeah, so really like in her, she gets a chance to kind of escape, gets lost in the crowd. All the citizens are ushered into this ceremony of actually crowning Prince Aegon.
That was quick. That was like within a day, not even a day.
Yeah, they definitely rushed it.
They rushed the hell out of that. Before Dragonstone even found out, before Rhaenyra even found out, before Daemon found out, they rushed the hell out of that ceremony. Because Viserys just died the night before. That's what's crazy. It hasn't even been 24 hours, and they already crowned a new king.
And I think they had explained it afterwards. The reason was that is because when you put that in front of the citizens of, King's Landing, it kind of reaffirms they're kind of part of it. So they'll support this decision of having Aegon be king versus Rhaenyra. So it was pretty smart on their end to rush it and put it in front of the whole King's Landing, like most of the commoners. And then I think you kind of see a little bit of a shift in Aegon, like once he's crowned and he sees the power that he holds. And the influence he has over the crowd, how they're supporting him. You definitely see that change.
God, he's a piece of shit. He really is. Dude, he doesn't deserve to be king.
He does not.
I mean, granted, I don't like his brother at all, but I mean, his brother's a little bit more deserving than him. I don't like it. But if I had to choose between him and his brother, I would choose his brother over, no doubt. But the one thing I did like about it was that I liked his little suit. That was pretty cool. The king's, the House of the Dragon and everything. And then come to find out, right when he's getting crowned, when he's yelling, cheering his life away, and realizing like, oh my God,
this is it. This is it.
Absolute I can bang whoever I want. And I can rape whoever I want. He's probably thinking he has absolute power. He could do whatever violence he wants. Princess comes around with her
Princess Rhaenys. You see her kind of slip away, find her dragon.
That was awesome.
And it just like interrupts this whole ceremony. Chaos, right? Chaos ensues.
Loved it.
And so then she kind of makes a choice, which you'll either understand it or you'll hate it.
Yeah.
And she has that chance with her dragon to set them all aflame, end everything. Yeah. Peace ensued.
That was so good.
But she chooses not to.
Yep.
And they explain it's because, in that moment you see Alicent protecting her son. She can relate because of her her children, her grandkids. She chooses to just fly away. Fly away.
And warn Rhaenyra.
And warn Rhaenyra. Which we see she does in the upcoming next episode.
It's crazy.
Man. And
dude, I liked how we got a little bit different with the princess and everything, because we got a different more I don't want to say more confidence, but like a more stern on her decision. She's deciding right here at this very moment, with her actions that she does at that end of this episode, she decides what side she's on. and she chooses Rhaenyra's side, and she could have killed them. She really could have. And I'll be honest here, though, I kind of felt like I wanted her to. And I was just like, you could have ended Sir Christian. You could have ended them.
The coup. You could have ended this whole...
the whole
thing.
Yeah.
And I can understand why she doesn't. But do I like it? No, I don't.
Yeah.
And we see the effects of this next episode upcoming. And I like that they did this because, we've always seen Rhaenys. She's always been stern and... very poised and confident. Yeah. But we get to see this side of her where she's like strong also. Yeah. And, she's not going to back down. She's not going to be a prisoner. That she's not going to just be a witness to this. She's going to take part in this. And I really like we saw her ride her dragon. I really did. Yeah, I think that was awesome. So cool.
That was awesome.
So I can't wait to see the last episode.
Oh man, my stomach is
because we think it hit the fan now. Ooh man, once they actually find out, and I bet Rhaenyra and party come back to King's Landing, that's when it's gonna get.
I can't wait to see Damon. I really can't.
I really can't wait to see Damon.
Oh, he was just here in Dallas, Texas. No, we're not in Dallas, Texas, but he was just here in Texas. We're in San Antonio, so it was not too far away. I was like, man, but we decided not to. I really wanted to go, but I was all like, oh, it was last minute till I found out. So
it's about like a 4.5 hour drive from us.
Yeah,
so that's a little bit.
I was just like, man, I should have done it. Meet Matt Smith.
I heard come to San Antonio, please.
He was so nice. I saw so many pictures. I saw everyone was laughing with him. And he's a huge Hocus Pocus fan, what I saw someone post. So I said, awesome.
I love Matt Smith. Yeah. I've liked him since Doctor Who. I know he's done other stuff since then, but I really like this. And I love him in this. I love him in House Dragon.
He is. He's awesome.
Love to meet him one day. Please come to San Antonio.
All right, guys. All right, guys. Question is for you guys. What did you think of this episode? Put on comments down below. What did you think of this episode? Did you love it? Did you hate it? I know some of the CGI at the very end was kind of, as far as like the dust CGI, it looked a little bit distorted. But I mean, I think that was the point there. Call me crazy or whatever, but I think that was the point in that scene right there. I enjoyed this episode. I enjoyed it so much. Put on comments down below. What did you think? Was it a yay, nay? Put in comments down below, guys. Thank you so much. If you have not already, hit that subscribe button, guys, to get notified on our season finale that we got going on next Sunday. Thank you so much, guys. As always, I'm your host, Ryan D. Ryan680.
Amanda, the Cat Lady Ange.
And this is Alamo City Movie Talk. Check you later. Stay safe, San Antonio. Peace.